Every paycheck is a test, and most people fail it quietly. The test is simple. Can you master your desires long enough to serve your future? You see, money doesn't just buy things, it reveals things. It shows your patience, your vision, and your discipline. The wealthy have learned this truth. Financial freedom isn't earned by income, it's earned by restraint. Money is a mirror. It doesn't lie. It simply reflects who you've become. If your pockets are empty, it's not your bank that needs changing, it's your habits, your thinking, your discipline. You see, wealth doesn't come to those who want it most, it comes to those who respect it most. The truth is, every dollar you spend tells a story about your mindset. So today, I don't want to talk about money. I want to talk about the person you must become to master it. Discipline is the bridge between desire and wealth. Everyone wants to be wealthy. Everyone wants financial freedom. But wanting is easy, desire is cheap. The world is full of people with dreams and empty pockets. Because dreams alone don't move the needle. It's discipline that builds the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Wealth doesn't respond to wishes. It responds to consistent, deliberate, intelligent effort. You can't buy your way to discipline, you can't borrow it, and you can't fake it. You build it brick by brick through small daily habits that most people ignore. I remember when I was young, I wanted to be rich so badly that I used to write affirmations, dream about luxury, visualize success, but every night I'd go to bed wishing, and every morning I'd wake up no closer to it. Then one day, my mentor asked me a question that changed everything. He said, "You've got great desire, but how's your discipline?" That hit me like a hammer. I realized my actions didn't match my ambitions. I wanted wealth, but I didn't have the structure to earn it. That was the day I learned that discipline is not punishment, it's preparation. Think of discipline like a muscle. It doesn't grow through inspiration, it grows through resistance. The resistance of choosing to save instead of spend. The resistance of saying no to the unnecessary and yes to the important. You don't suddenly wake up one morning disciplined. You train it like any other strength. Small, simple, daily actions create the foundation of great financial power. The person who tracks their expenses every day, saves a little from every paycheck, and reviews their finances weekly will soon build more wealth than the one who reads every book about success but never acts. I learned to create small money rituals, things I could do every day without fail. In the morning, I'd review my budget. At night, I'd track my spending. Every Sunday, I'd review the week and plan the next one. It wasn't glamorous, but discipline rarely is. Yet, over time, it gave me something priceless: clarity. I could see where my money was going, how it was growing, and most importantly, how I was growing. That's the real reward of discipline. It shapes you into someone who can handle abundance responsibly. People often ask, how do I reward myself for being disciplined? I tell them, reward yourself with peace of mind. Reward yourself by watching your savings grow, by seeing your debts shrink, by feeling that quiet confidence that comes from control. Discipline is the ultimate freedom because it allows you to live by design, not by default. The truth is, you'll never feel ready to start, but if you start, you'll feel ready. Desire is what gets you moving. Discipline is what keeps you growing. Wealth doesn't come to those who want it most, it comes to those who respect it most. The first rule of wealth is simple but powerful. Pay yourself first, not last, not if something's left over, first. Because if you don't pay yourself first, you'll spend a lifetime working for someone who does. It's one of those principles that sounds small but changes everything once you practice it. Most people have it backwards. The moment they get paid, they start paying everyone else, the landlord, the grocery store, the utility company, the government, and when they finally look at what's left, they say, I'll save next month. But next month turns into next year, and next year turns into never. You can't build wealth on leftovers. You build it by priority. I remember when I first learned this lesson, my mentor looked at my budget and asked, who's first on your list? I said, well, the rent, the bills, the food. He smiled and said, you're paying everyone except the most important person. That one conversation shifted the way I thought about money forever. It taught me that saving isn't something you do after responsibility. It is responsibility. You see, when you pay yourself first, you're not being selfish, you're being wise. You're honoring your future self, the one who will need resources, freedom, and options down the road. Now, some people say, but I don't make enough to save. I used to believe that too. But the truth is, if you can't save $1 out of $10, you won't save $100 out of $1,000. The amount doesn't matter, it's the habit that counts. Wealth doesn't begin when your income increases, it begins when your priorities do. Even saving 10% consistently creates a new kind of discipline, a new kind of confidence. It's a quiet signal to yourself that you're no longer surviving, you're building. To make it stick, treat saving like a sacred bill. You wouldn't skip rent or your electric bill, right? Then don't skip your savings payment either. Make it automatic. Set up a transfer the moment income hits your account. 10%, 15%, maybe even 20%. When it's automated, you remove the temptation to decide, because decisions are emotional, but automation is logical. You can't talk yourself out of something that already happens by default. Every dollar you save is a worker you send into the world. The question is, are you sending your money out to bring more back, or are you spending it all on temporary comforts that vanish tomorrow? When I started saving first, even when it was small, I noticed something interesting. I began to think differently. I became more careful, more strategic, more intentional with the rest of my money. That's the real power of paying yourself first. It not only builds your savings, it builds your character. So here's the truth. Wealth doesn't come to the biggest earners. It comes to the most disciplined. If you ever want your money to start working for you, you must first show it that you're willing to work for yourself. The first check you write should always be to your future. It's not how much you earn that determines your wealth. It's how much you keep. I've met people earning $5,000 a month and living in chaos, and others earning $1,500 and building peace and freedom. The difference isn't income, it's discipline. Most people think financial success is about getting a raise, starting a business, or making more money. But that's not the foundation. The foundation is learning how to live on less than you earn. It's the principle of control, the art of contentment, and the wisdom to draw a line where most people just keep expanding. When I was starting out, I used to think the answer to all my problems was more. If I could just earn a little more, I'd be fine. But every time my income went up, my spending found a way to catch up. Have you noticed that? We call it lifestyle inflation. You move into a bigger house, get a newer car, dine at fancier places. The bills grow, the stress grows, and you're left wondering why more money hasn't solved anything. That's because wealth isn't built by expansion, it's built by limitation. It's not the increase that makes you rich, it's the restraint that keeps you rich. I learned a formula that changed my entire financial life. It's simple, but it works every time. 7-0-1-0-1-0-1-0. Live on 70% of what you earn. Save 10%. Invest 10%. Give 10%. When I first heard it, I thought, how can I live on 70% when 100% isn't enough? But that's the point. Discipline makes room for wisdom. The first month, it was uncomfortable. The second month, it became manageable. By the third, it started to feel natural. Suddenly, there was breathing room. I had savings. I had peace. And you know what's amazing? Once you show life you can manage 70%, it starts giving you more. Living on 70% teaches you something more valuable than money. It teaches you control. It forces you to decide what truly matters. You stop buying things to impress people who don't even notice. You stop confusing luxury with happiness. You begin to understand that real wealth is not measured by the car in your driveway, but by the calm in your mind. I started reviewing my expenses every month. I'd ask myself one question: did this expense serve my growth or my ego? That question saved me thousands over the years. Every dollar that didn't serve my growth became a candidate for elimination. And as I trimmed the excess, I found something beautiful: clarity. I wasn't just saving money, I was saving purpose. So, live on 70% and give every dollar an assignment. Because when you control your money, you control your future. When you spend with discipline, you buy freedom, not frustration. The truth is, wealth isn't about what you can afford, it's about what you can walk away from. Money without a plan is like a ship without a rudder. It doesn't matter how strong the wind is, you'll drift in circles until you crash. Discipline without direction will wear you out. You can save, cut back, and hustle all you want. But if you don't have a plan, your money will always find a way to escape. Most people don't lose wealth because they lack income. They lose it because they lack intention. Every dollar you earn has potential, but potential without purpose is wasted energy. A plan gives that potential direction, order, and meaning. When I was younger, I used to think that if I just worked hard and earned more, everything else would sort itself out. I had ambition, energy, and plenty of drive, but I didn't have a plan. I'd get paid, spend freely, and wonder where it all went. One day, my mentor asked me a question that changed the way I looked at money forever. He said, "Do you tell your money where to go, or do you ask where it went?" That one question exposed my lack of control. I was letting life happen to me instead of designing it. From that moment, I learned that if you don't control your money will control you. So I started writing down a plan, nothing fancy, just a piece of paper that showed exactly what I would do with every dollar before it arrived. Income at the top, categories below: living, saving, investing, giving. I started assigning purpose before I spent. Suddenly I wasn't reacting anymore. I was directing. That's what a plan does. It shifts you from survival mode to creation mode. You stop drifting and start steering. Here's the key: your plan must be in writing. If it's only in your head, it's a wish. Write it down, make it real. Budget every month, not because budgeting is fun, it's not, but because freedom requires structure. And once the plan is in place, review it weekly. Plans don't work unless you work them. Life changes, expenses shift, opportunities appear, adjust as needed, but never stop reviewing. Some people say planning feels restrictive, but that's only because they've never lived on purpose. A plan doesn't limit you, it liberates you. It tells you exactly where you stand, what's possible, and how far you've come. It gives you the confidence that comes from clarity. When I began planning, I noticed something remarkable. My stress started to fade. I wasn't guessing anymore. I knew. And that knowledge made me stronger, calmer, and more strategic. So here's the truth: money flows best where there is direction. Don't wait for financial stability to start planning to achieve it. Every dollar you assign a job becomes a soldier in your army of freedom. And one day, when the winds of opportunity blow, your ship won't drift, it will sail straight towards your goals. One of the greatest secrets of wealth is the ability to delay gratification. Poor people seek pleasure, wealthy people seek purpose. It's not that wealthy people don't enjoy life, they just understand timing. They know that saying not yet isn't the same as saying never. The poor chase instant comfort, the wealthy chase meaningful results. And here's the truth. Every financial problem begins with one bad decision made in the heat of emotion, and every fortune begins with one disciplined choice made in the light of wisdom. When I was younger, I was just like most people. The moment I got paid, I felt the rush, the urge to spend. I'd convince myself I deserved a treat after all my hard work. I'd go out, spend freely, feel great for a few hours, and then feel broke for the rest of the week. It was a cycle of momentary joy followed by lingering regret. Then one day, a mentor of mine told me something I'll never forget. He said, "Every dollar you spend for pleasure today steals a bit of your freedom tomorrow." That line hit me hard. I started realizing that every small purchase wasn't just a transaction, it was a trade. I wasn't trading money for things, I was trading my future for temporary satisfaction. Wealthy people see this differently. They've mastered the art of patience. They wait, not because they can't afford something, but because they understand value over impulse. They know that time amplifies everything: money, knowledge, and results. When you wait, your money has a chance to grow. When you rush, your wealth evaporates. So I started practicing what I call the 48-hour rule. Whenever I wanted to buy something that wasn't essential, I'd wait 2 days. No exceptions. And you know what happened? Most of the time, the desire disappeared. I also began visualizing my future. Every time temptation came knocking, I'd picture my financial freedom, the peace of a debt-free life, the satisfaction of living on my own terms. Suddenly, that new gadget or fancy dinner didn't seem so appealing anymore. I realized that every no I said today was actually a yes to my future self. Now, don't get me wrong, discipline isn't about deprivation. It's about direction. You can enjoy life, but enjoy it from a place of power, not impulse. Celebrate progress, not indulgence. When you resist the temptation to spend, don't think of it as a loss, think of it as a victory. You're not denying yourself pleasure, you're choosing a greater one. And that's the paradox of discipline. It feels restrictive in the moment, but it's the very thing that sets you free in the end. The longer you can wait, the greater your reward. One of the simplest yet most powerful truths about money is this: you can't improve what you don't measure. Most people don't have a money problem, they have an awareness problem. They don't know where their money goes, so it always seems to disappear. Wealthy people understand that awareness creates control, and control creates freedom. It's not enough to make money. You have to know how it moves, where it leaks, and how to direct it with purpose. Every dollar should have a name, a job, and a destination. I remember a time when I used to live by guesswork. I thought I knew where my money was going. I'd say things like, "I don't spend much," or "I think I'm managing okay." But the truth was, I didn't know. And I think is a dangerous phrase when it comes to money. One day a mentor asked me, "How much did you spend on food last month?" I said, "I don't know exactly, but not much." He smiled and said, "Show me the numbers." I couldn't. And that was the moment I realized I wasn't managing my money, it was managing me. So I started tracking every dollar. At first, it felt tedious. I wrote down every purchase, every bill, every small expense that I once thought didn't matter. But a few weeks later, something incredible happened. I started to see patterns. I saw where I was wasting money on things that brought no real value. I saw how much was going toward impulse decisions and emotional spending, and the moment I became aware, I began to change. Awareness is the spark that ignites discipline. Wealthy people track because they value clarity over comfort. They want to see the truth, even if it's uncomfortable, because truth brings power. They categorize everything: needs, wants, and waste. Needs are essentials, things that sustain life and work. Wants are desires, nice to have, but not necessary. Waste, that's what quietly steals your future. The goal isn't to cut joy out of your life, it's to cut the waste. Because when you eliminate waste, you create room for wealth. Every week, I still review my numbers. It's not about guilt, it's about growth. When you track regularly, you build a relationship with your money. You start treating it with respect. You begin making decisions consciously, not carelessly. And over time, that awareness turns into confidence. You know exactly where you stand, what you can afford, and how to improve. Tracking your money isn't about control, it's about consciousness. It's about taking back your power from habit and emotion. So start today. Whether it's a notebook, a spreadsheet, or a simple app, track every dollar that passes through your hands. Because once you start seeing where your money goes, you can finally tell it where to go next. Awareness is the first step to freedom. One of the most overlooked truths about building wealth is that your greatest asset is not a stock, a property, or a bank account. It's you. Your earning ability, your skills, your knowledge, and your mindset are what truly determine how much money you can create. You can have $1 million today, but if you don't invest in yourself, that wealth can vanish tomorrow. On the other hand, if you constantly invest in your mind, your capabilities grow, and money naturally follows. This is why the wealthy put themselves first. They understand that money grows where the mind grows. I remember when I was starting out, my income was modest. I could have spent every penny on comfort, entertainment, or even flashy status symbols. Instead, I made a decision that would shape my financial future. I dedicated a portion of every paycheck to learning, growing, and improving myself. I bought books, attended seminars, and invested in mentors who had already walked the path I wanted to travel. It wasn't easy at first. There were sacrifices, skipped luxuries, and tough choices, but the returns were extraordinary. Every new skill I acquired translated into better opportunities, higher earnings, and smarter decisions. The money I spent on myself multiplied in ways I never could have imagined. Investing in yourself isn't just about formal education. It's about developing skills, mindset, and knowledge that create value. That might mean learning sales, communication, investing, entrepreneurship, or any ability that enhances your ability to earn and serve others. Every hour you spend improving your capabilities increases your earning potential exponentially. The wealthy understand that your mind is like fertile soil. What you plant and nurture there will grow and bear fruit. Neglect it, and it produces weeds and scarcity instead of abundance. Practical steps make this philosophy actionable. Set aside at least 10% of your income for self-improvement. Treat it as non-negotiable, just like paying a bill. Read every day, even if it's just a few pages of a book on finance, leadership, or personal development. Attend seminars, workshops, or online courses to gain practical skills. Seek mentors who have achieved what you desire and apply their lessons in your life. Most importantly, don't let knowledge sit idle. Turn it into action that produces income and opportunities. The truth is, money doesn't create wealth on its own. Knowledge, skills, and wisdom do. And the more you invest in yourself, the greater your ability to generate income, make smarter choices, and build lasting wealth. Start today. Feed your mind, expand your skills, and watch your financial life transform as your value rises. Your most powerful investment is always the one you make in yourself. Debt is a silent thief that robs your future while pretending to give pleasure today. Many people fall into the trap of thinking that borrowing is a shortcut to happiness, buying items that bring momentary satisfaction but leave a long-lasting burden. True financial freedom, however, comes not from what you own today, but from the control you maintain over your tomorrow. Discipline, not desire, is the currency of wealth. Every time you choose to pay with patience rather than credit, you're investing in your independence rather than feeding a fleeting craving. I remember early in my life, watching friends accumulate debt for cars, gadgets, and vacations they couldn't afford. They justified it as necessary, inevitable, even normal. Yet the stress, late fees, and interest payments slowly eroded their freedom. I chose a different path. Instead of giving in to immediate impulses, I practiced restraint. I told myself, if I can't afford it without borrowing, I don't need it yet. It wasn't deprivation, it was investment in the power of choice. I discovered that the joy of owning something outright, without owing anyone, far exceeds the thrill of instant gratification bought with borrowed money. Debt can sometimes be necessary, but only when it's used strategically to acquire assets that produce income or appreciation. A business loan that funds growth, a mortgage on a property that generates rent, or education that increases your earning potential are examples where borrowing serves a purpose. Consumer debt, credit cards, impulse purchases, lifestyle inflation never creates freedom. It chains you to obligations, drains your income, and diverts resources from wealth building. Avoiding these traps is not about fear, it's about clarity. Every dollar you don't owe is a dollar you control, and every decision to wait, save, and plan compounds your independence. Practical steps make this philosophy tangible. Start by listing all debts and systematically eliminating them. Smallest first to gain momentum or highest interest first to save cost. Replace the habit of buy now, pay later with plan, save, and purchase. Celebrate milestones not by acquiring more, but by achieving freedom, closing a credit card, paying off a loan, or refusing an unnecessary impulse purchase. Each victory reinforces discipline and strengthens your mindset, teaching you that control and patience are far more rewarding than temporary indulgence. Debt isn't just money you owe, it's potential you've surrendered. Choose discipline over desire. Buy freedom, not fleeting pleasure. Every decision to live within your means is a step toward wealth, peace, and independence that no loan or credit can ever buy. Freedom is priceless, and it begins the moment you take control of your spending. Discipline is the quiet architect of wealth, building silently, steadily, and relentlessly. Many chase sudden windfalls, lottery dreams, or get-rich-quick schemes, hoping that fortune will appear overnight. Yet real wealth doesn't arrive as a surprise guest. It is the inevitable outcome of consistent, disciplined actions carried out day after day. What you choose to do repeatedly, no matter how small, shapes not only your finances, but your character, your opportunities, and ultimately your life. Discipline, not luck, becomes the compass that guides every dollar, every decision, and every habit toward your long-term vision. I've witnessed countless people with talent and ambition fail simply because they lack the consistency to follow through. They would start saving, investing, or learning, but then a distraction or temptation derailed them. Meanwhile, others, often ordinary in talent but extraordinary in discipline, quietly amassed wealth, stability, and freedom. They did not act in dramatic bursts. They acted in small, intentional steps that compounded over time. Paying yourself first, tracking every expense, investing consistently, avoiding unnecessary debt. All these behaviors, when repeated daily, transform ordinary lives into extraordinary ones. Anchoring your actions to a long-term vision is critical. Discipline without direction can feel like constraint. Discipline with purpose becomes liberation. Begin by setting clear, tangible goals. Where do you want to be financially? In 1 year, 5 years, or 10 years? Write them down. Review them weekly and monthly, not as a burden, but as a reminder of what your daily choices are building. Align every financial decision, spending, saving, investing with these goals. Each dollar, each hour, each habit becomes a brick in the house of your future freedom. Consistency outweighs intensity every time. A single day of extreme frugality or an extraordinary investment will not change your life. But daily habits, reviewing your finances, automating savings, learning, and investing will compound. Just like planting seeds in a garden, water them every day, and eventually a forest will grow. Let discipline lead, and wealth will follow naturally. You are sculpting a future where money serves you rather than you serving money. The path to financial success is not flashy or urgent. It is steady, intentional, and guided by the principle that small, disciplined actions compounded over time create extraordinary results. Build your habits, honor your commitments, and wealth will inevitably follow. Wealth is built when your money works for you, not when you work for fleeting pleasures. Too often, people chase possessions, cars, gadgets, clothes, that lose value the moment they leave the store. The rich, however, understand a simple truth. Assets create freedom, while liabilities create bondage. Every purchase should be measured not by desire, but by purpose. Before spending, ask yourself, will this earn, protect, or multiply my resources, or will it simply consume them? This mindset transforms ordinary spending into strategic investment, where each dollar contributes to your long-term financial growth. I've seen people who earn well but remain financially trapped because their lifestyle grows faster than their income. They live paycheck to paycheck, buy things that depreciate, and rarely think about the future. Contrast that with someone who purchases an index fund, invests in rental property, or builds a side business, even modestly, and over time, those small, purposeful choices compound into real financial freedom. The habit of turning income into assets rather than expenses separates the wealthy from the financially strained. It isn't about earning more, it's about channeling every dollar towards something that grows, protects, or multiplies. Accumulating assets doesn't require a windfall. Start small. Buy a fraction of stock, contribute to a retirement account, or invest in a small venture where your time or skills create value. Each month, review your expenses and ask, does this build wealth or drain it? Cut what drains and redirect those funds toward income-producing opportunities. Gradually, your balance sheet will reflect growth, not consumption. Every asset you accumulate, no matter how small, becomes a seed for future wealth. The discipline of evaluating every purchase is a skill that compounds. Over time, it trains your mind to see opportunities, minimize waste, and prioritize value over desire. Just as you wouldn't pour water into a bucket full of holes, don't pour money into things that vanish. Build assets, not expenses, and your money begins to work harder than you do. The financial freedom you seek is not in earning more, but in strategically directing what you already have toward growth. The choice is simple: spend on things that fade, or invest in things that flourish. Assets create options, security, and ultimately, the freedom to live life on your own terms. Build assets consistently, and wealth will follow naturally. Wealth is not measured by how hard you work, but by how effectively your money works for you. Too many people trade hours for dollars, believing that the grind alone will secure their future. The truth is, if your income stops the moment you stop working, freedom will always be out of reach. The goal is to create systems, investments, and opportunities where money flows independently of your daily labor. This is what separates the financially free from the financially trapped: the ability to earn while you sleep. Imagine waking up each morning knowing that while you rested, your money was growing. Every rental property producing monthly income, every stock paying dividends, every digital product selling online, these are examples of assets working tirelessly on your behalf. I've witnessed individuals transform modest savings into streams that eventually cover their living expenses entirely. The key is to shift focus from merely earning to strategically positioning resources where they generate value continuously. This doesn't happen overnight, but the compounding effect is unstoppable once you start. Begin by identifying opportunities that align with your skills, knowledge, and resources. Perhaps you can create a digital course teaching a skill you've mastered over decades, or invest in a dividend-paying stock or index fund. Even small steps matter. Investing a modest sum monthly compounds into significant wealth over time. The moment you reallocate income from immediate consumption to income-producing assets, your financial trajectory changes. Each dollar becomes a soldier working diligently for your future, multiplying silently while your attention is elsewhere. Reinvest all returns rather than withdrawing them for comfort or indulgence. This habit accelerates growth and reinforces the mindset that money is a tool, not a trophy. Avoid the trap of thinking passive income is purely for the wealthy. Anyone who prioritizes discipline, patience, and strategic action can build it. Start small, stay consistent, and let compounding take over. Ultimately, financial freedom is the result of creating systems where your money earns more money. Work builds income, but assets build wealth. Focus on designing, acquiring, and nurturing income-producing resources. When you master this, your money stops being a limitation and starts becoming an unstoppable engine that supports your life, your dreams, and your legacy. Make your money work while you sleep, and true freedom will follow. Most people make money decisions like a shopper, not an investor. They see each dollar as something to spend, and the question in their mind is always, can I afford this? But wealth is never built that way. The investor, on the other hand, asks, what will this return over time? Every dollar becomes a seed, a tool, a worker, not a toy. Thinking like an investor transforms how you earn, save, and spend. Begin by learning the fundamentals of investing, understanding basic principles. Compound interest, risk versus reward, diversification, and asset allocation changes the way you view money. When you know how money grows, you start evaluating all purchases differently. That $50 dinner isn't just a meal, it's $50 not invested in your future. That new gadget isn't just a convenience. It's an opportunity cost against building an asset that could work for you. Investors always weigh cost against long-term gain. Opportunity cost is a powerful tool. Every decision has a price beyond its sticker. It's what you give up in future potential. When you think like an investor, you start asking, will this expense generate more value than what I could have earned by investing it? Suddenly, frivolous spending becomes obvious, and intentional spending grows. You don't deprive yourself, you redirect your money into opportunities that multiply. Treat your financial choices as moves in a long-term game. Every dollar either builds your future or erodes it. Investments don't need to be complicated. Start small with things you understand. Stocks, index funds, bonds, real estate, or a side venture that leverages your skills can all work. The key is to make each financial decision purposeful. Over time, consistent, intelligent choices compound, creating wealth far beyond what casual spending could ever achieve. In daily life, apply this mindset to everything. Even small purchases matter. Delay impulsive buys and ask yourself, if I invest this instead, where could it be a year from now? 5 years? 10? Gradually, thinking like an investor becomes a habit, transforming how you manage every dollar. Ultimately, spending like a shopper keeps you tied to the present. Thinking like an investor liberates your future. By consistently evaluating every financial decision in terms of growth, return, and opportunity, you start to redirect your life from consumption to creation, from temporary pleasure to lasting prosperity. Every choice becomes a building block toward financial freedom. Relying on a single paycheck is like walking a tightrope over uncertainty. One unexpected event, a job loss, medical emergency, or economic downturn, and suddenly your security vanishes. True financial freedom comes from having multiple streams of income. Each stream is a pillar supporting your life. So if one wavers, the others hold you steady. The wealthy understand this principle instinctively. They don't just work for money, they build systems that generate it in various ways. The first step is to recognize the assets you already possess. Your skills, knowledge, and experiences are resources that can be transformed into additional income. Perhaps you've spent years mastering a craft, understanding a trade, or solving specific problems. These are marketable skills. Offer consulting, freelance work, teaching, or creating digital products that serve others while producing income for you. A single hour of effort can generate multiple benefits if leveraged properly. Next, explore opportunities in the digital economy. The internet has flattened access to markets and clients. Freelancing platforms, online courses, e-books, or subscription services allow you to monetize expertise without enormous upfront costs. Even a modest side venture can grow steadily if treated with discipline and consistency. The key is to start small and scale wisely. Don't wait for perfect conditions or a big break. Wealth is built by consistent effort, compounded over time. Reinvesting profits is critical. Many make the mistake of treating side income as extra spending money. Instead, use it to reinforce and expand your streams. One small side hustle can seed another. One freelance gig can fund a passive income project. The snowball effect multiplies over months and years. Discipline in reinvestment, rather than instant gratification, is what separates those who maintain financial struggles from those who achieve real wealth. Finally, maintain focus and flexibility. Not every venture will succeed immediately, but each provides experience and insight. Learning from mistakes and adjusting strategies ensures long-term growth. Over time, diversified income not only strengthens financial security, but also builds confidence, independence, and resilience. Remember, your first paycheck may come from your day job, but your future wealth will come from multiple streams flowing together, each one supporting your freedom, each one a step closer to lasting financial independence. Before you dream of growing your wealth, you must first protect what you already have. Too often, people chase opportunities without safeguarding the foundation beneath them. And a single setback, a medical emergency, car accident, or identity theft can erase years of hard work. True financial discipline begins with security, because without it, risk turns into recklessness. Start with an emergency fund. Set aside 3 to 6 months of living expenses in a separate account. This isn't optional. It's your buffer against life's unexpected storms. Knowing that basic needs are covered allows you to make bolder, wiser financial decisions without panic or compromise. Insurance is another critical pillar. Health, life, and property insurance shield you from catastrophic losses. Identity protection safeguards your financial reputation and prevents fraud from undermining your progress. Think of these protections as the walls around your financial castle. Without them, even a modest storm can cause ruin. Diversification is the final step in protecting wealth. Spread your investments across different types of assets: stocks, bonds, real estate, or other ventures. Each contributes to growth while reducing the chance that one loss will devastate your financial picture. Diversification isn't about chasing the highest return. It's about stability and the confidence to pursue calculated risks. When protection comes first, growth becomes a natural consequence. You gain the freedom to invest strategically, experiment intelligently, and build wealth without fear of losing everything. Over time, these safeguards compound with your income and investments, creating a strong, resilient foundation. In short, protect first, then grow. Security breeds confidence, confidence fuels smart action, and smart action leads to lasting wealth. As we reach the close of this conversation about discipline, wealth, and financial freedom, I want you to understand this. Money is not merely a tool. It is a mirror of your habits, choices, and mindset. Every dollar you earn, every decision you make about spending, saving, or investing reflects your commitment to your future self. Discipline is not a restriction, it is your gateway to freedom. When you control your money, you control your life. When you let money control you, you trade your dreams for temporary comfort. The journey toward financial success is not about luck or timing. It's about consistent action. It begins with small, deliberate steps. Paying yourself first, living below your means, tracking every dollar, and investing in your knowledge and skills. It continues with patience, delayed gratification, and the courage to make disciplined choices even when it feels uncomfortable. True wealth is not built overnight. It is cultivated daily through habits that may seem small but compound enormously over time. I challenge you to start today. Review your finances. Identify where discipline can replace impulse, and commit to a plan that honors your future self. Build multiple streams of income. Protect your wealth before pursuing growth. And surround yourself with people who inspire and elevate your thinking. Take control of your financial destiny, because no one else will do it for you. Remember, the best time to start building wealth was yesterday. The second best time is today. Begin now and let discipline, focus, and intention guide you to the life of freedom, abundance, and peace you deserve. Take action. Your future self is counting on it.